Today, we are not up in space. We're not even on the surface of Earth. We are actually under the water. Which probably is the surface. Well, I don't know. We're in Aqua at least, which is, well, water. And here we are building coral reefs. We are placing out small little animals, but also really, really big ones. This game is so cool. It's so well made. I just got this. I'm so happy about it. Played it, tested, and now I want to show it to you, because I'm quite excited about this game. I'm going to show you how to set this game up and how to play it. So sit down, take a cup of coffee or whatever you want to drink, and let's have a look at Aqua. So in Aqua, we are building coral reefs, and we will do that by using these tiles here, but also the tiles in front of us, because these tiles here are where we will build our reef around. This game is played out during 17 rounds, with each player taking their round to the fullest and then going on to the next player in clockwise order. Now, there are 3 different ways of playing this game. You have one family version, one standard version, the one I'm showing you in this video, and one more advanced version. But let's take a look at the setup and the gameplay of the standard version. At the start of the game, each player should take one of these hotspot coral reef tiles, looking like this. This will be the tile where you will build your reef around. Next, we're placing out 6 ecosystems. Now, in the standard game, we should use the ones with the little star here and put them in order from the lowest to the highest number in a row. Once we have placed out the ecosystems, we also need to place out the small animals. We should sort them up in their groups and then at random place them out next to one of the 6 ecosystems. Depending on where they end up, they will affect the end of game points. Once we have sorted out the small animals, we also need to sort out the big animals. And we will do this according to their size. And then place them with the highest number on the top. Because on these tiles there are numbers. And the highest one should be placed on the top. Depending on how many players you are, you should also have different amounts of big animals in the game. If you are 2 to 3 players, you should remove one of each of these animals. The one with the whale symbol, to be specific. This little red symbol down here. We also need to shuffle up the coral tiles themselves and place them face down on the table. Now, depending on how many players you are, again, you should remove a certain amount of tiles at random. 35 random tiles if you are 2 player and 18 if you are 3 players. If you are 4 players, you only remove 1. And now we need to create the market. So we need to flip out some coral tiles. And we need to place out as many tiles as we are players plus 1. So this is a 3-player game, meaning we should place out 4 tiles. And lastly, 1 player at random gets the sea snail. Now we're ready to start playing. The player that got the snail becomes the first player and gets to do their turn first, followed by the other players once they are done. And a player's turn is played out during 3 different phases. The first thing we need to do during the start of each round is to refill the market. Now, you of course do not do this in the first round because you have done it during setup. But from the second round and so on, well, you need to refill the market the first thing we do in each new round. So, if you have the snail, you get to go first. And the first phase of your turn is to start building out your little hotspot you have here in front of you. And you will do that by taking one of the available coral reef tiles from the market and then connect it to your hotspot. But how do you connect it? To be able to place one of these coral reef tiles to your hotspot, at least one of these sides needs to match the hotspot. And you cannot put them edges to edges. They needs to be put in here side by side, and one side needs to match. So once you have connected a reef to your hotspot, well, you can choose. Because if the snail is available in the center of the playing area, you can choose to take the snail now. This will make you the first player in the next round, but it will also stop your round right now and give the turn on to the next player. So if you want to continue your gameplay and go into phase number 2, well then you better leave this in the middle. And that was the first phase of your turn. To simply take a tile from the market and put it together with your hotspot that you have here in front of you. If you did not choose to take the snail, or maybe you could not, well now you go into phase number 2. And your big objective here in this game is to create life environments for the animals to live in, but also to create reefs. If you have managed to create a life environment, well now you would need to put out some animals. When you manage to get a hex with the same color coral, well you have created a life environment. And now you need to populate that with an animal of the same color matching that life environment. In this case here, a cute little seahorse. But here we have also managed to build a reef. A reef is 4 or more connected corals. At the end of the game, you will score for your small animals, as stated on the tile. Your reef will let you score if you have any adjacent small animals to that reef. So that was the second phase of your turn, to place out small animals. If you have the right conditions, that is, because otherwise, well then you cannot place out any animals. But if you can, you do that. The third phase and the final phase of your turn is to place out big animals. But again, the conditions needs to be just right. So this player here have managed to place out quite a few small animals in their little habitat here. And now they can place out a big animal, because these big animals are placed out on the small animals. But again, the conditions needs to be right. To be able to place out one of these big cute little animals here, to be able to place out this rather cute big animal, you need to have placed at least one of the tiles you're going to place the big animal on during this turn. If you cannot place the big animal on the tile that you have placed out this turn, well then you cannot place it. The big animals also needs to be placed completely on the small animals, meaning that they cannot stick out anywhere. And last, we need to have diversity. This means that you cannot place the big animal on the same type of animal more than once. So you would not be able to place this one on these 3 small animals here, as there would not be enough diversity, since we have 2 of these cute little seahorses. So this one goes away. This, on the other hand, you would be able to place here. As it covers the 3 small animals, it does not stick out, plus this one was the last one we played during this round. So all of the 3 boxes are checked and we can place out our big cute animal. So during your turn, you actually do not need to place out a big animal, even if you can. It's all up to you. Plus, these here are double-sided and you can choose whichever cute little water animal you want to. But you need to take the one with the highest number on. Why would you take a lower one, right? I mean, this is your score. Be smart. And that was a player's turn. It's quite easy, but still so hard. But once we have done this 17 times, we go into end of game scoring to see if we have managed to get some scores at all. Hopefully we have. First we need to add together all the big animals we have managed to put out in our little habitat. Once we have done that, we remove them from the player area. And then we start to count together the small animals as well. Plus, remember I told you about the reef? Well, you also need to add any small animals that are adjacent to your reef. In this case here, it's only 1, because point to point does not count. And then we also need to score if we have managed to complete any of the reef challenges. Because here you would score this amount of points for any of these big animals that you have managed to get into your habitat. And on this one here, you get 1 point for every inbreed little animal you have that is adjacent to another little animal, no matter color. So once we have calculated the scores together, well then we have a winner. And that is how you play Aqua. This is quite a simple game to learn, but it's quite hard to master. There's a lot of things to keep track on when you are placing your little coral reefs here out on the board. How to match them up with the other reefs, how to plan ahead to get the big animals and the small animals out, how you need to have diversity so you can't just place and go all crazy, but because you need to split them up and get different types of animals in there. I quite enjoyed this game. There you have it, my friend. That was Aqua for you. A cute little game here. Like I told you, it's easy to learn, but it's quite hard to master. I really liked it. I like the artwork. I like the tiles. I like the box. I mean, there's a little artwork here on the inside as well. Looking quite cool. It's a good little insert to this game. It's really nice. I like the quality. I like the game. If you want to know more about it, well, check it out in the links down in the description, and it will take you straight to this game. If you like this video, if you like my channel, well, give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, or whatever you would like to. Just say hi. Most importantly, my friend, is to keep on spreading that board gaming love I know you all have. Peace out.